Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a Mesmer's Spear of the Impaler build in Elden Ring. What's cool about this weapon is it has a unique R2 attack where you throw the spear and then it explodes into fire if you charge it up. There's three different attacks that you get here. You get the sprinting throw, you get the charge throw here, and then you get one that's on your horseback as well. So that is the nice part about this. It is very versatile as a weapon. It also has an extremely unique weapon art with the Mesmer's Assault, which is an attack that he uses against us when we fight him, and it deals a ton of damage. You can hit in a huge area of effect. I'll be going over the full build guide for this at level 150, but if you're a higher level, I'll talk about what stats to take as well. But as you can see, this spear does an incredible amount of damage and posture damage too, so it can take down enemies really quickly. So this is a lot of fun to use, but we're going to be going at level 150 here, and I have these fully maxed out. I'm also using Vyke's War Spear because they have the same scaling, so you can go full in on a faith build with this. So we got level 150, 50 vigor, 22 mind, 34 endurance, 16 strength with 35 dexterity, which is the minimum requirement we need to equip this weapon, and then 46 faith. So you would want to go a little bit higher in your faith and dexterity as you level up past 150, because that's going to increase the weapon damage. Both of these scale pretty decently off dex and faith, but it seems like faith is a better investment there, and it's going to give us more fire damage with this. And there's also some fire damage on Vyke's War Spear as well, so that is quite nice. Now, we're going to be going with at least 56 poise, 51 of the very, very minimum, and a medium roll. That's what you always want to have there. I'm also using the Fire Scorpion Charm, as it's going to increase our fire attack for both of these weapons. The Shard of Alexander is going to increase the damage that we're dealing with the weapon art, so the Mesmer's Assault. And then the Smithing Talisman, this is a new one, so it enhances weapon thrown attacks. So we can have a healthy mix of all of that. You can also go with the Claw Talisman. That's a good one for jump attacks if we want to use two spears, because they actually have a pretty good jump attack. The power stance moveset on this is awesome, as it has a big poke attack with great range. I'll be showing that off here in a second, but I'll also talk about some of the spells and incantations that we're going to be using. So I like to go with the I guess I'll also throw on the Raptor's Black Feathers gear here, because it's going to increase our jump attack damage too. So I like to start off with the Flame Grant Me Strength. Swarm of Flies is another way if we want to use the White Mask. And alternatively, we can go with Mesmer's Helmet, as that's going to boost the damage that we deal with our fire attacks. So you do have a few different options you can go with, so we can go with the Mesmer Helm there. And yeah, we'll start off with the Flame Grant Me Strength, which will increase the damage that we're going to be dealing, and then we can switch back. I think that jump attacks work pretty good here, as we're hitting for 1800 damage there. 1893, that's crazy. 2000, and we'll test it out on one of the stronger Albinarics here. 1500, he does have a shield up though, so that can impact the damage that we're dealing to them. But as you can see, pretty good amounts of damage with both of these weapons here. And then they have a fairly decent power stance. Oh, I got shredded there. They have a fairly decent power stance with both spears being poked forwards like that. And yeah, we got taken out really quickly there. But the strategy that we want to be using is jumping and pressing L1 to do the power stance jump attack. You can also start combat off with from a distance too, and alternatively we could also use the Lord of Blood's Exaltation and the White Mask to increase our damage, and start off with Swarm of Flies and then throw one of these at them, as the damage that you can deal with a throwing spear is quite good. Like, that's hitting for 700, and it deals fire damage over time too. So yeah, you can take enemies out from a distance, and also if you're riding on your horse, you can ride around on a horse and just throw the spears at them. Yeah, so that is a good way to deal with some bosses like the Jagged Peak Dragons, which are a little bit more frustrating to deal with. That was a good strategy against them. But jump attacks when in doubt, and just the regular old power stance works well on this. The reason I chose Vyke's War Spear is it has the same scaling, so it makes it that much more beneficial. But yeah, ranged attacks on this do dip off in terms of their damage, but overall it does do an incredible amount of damage. There are some talisman you can use to increase the damage so that the scaling doesn't get off whenever you use it, but the usual strategy that we want to be employing is going with our Mesmer's Assault here, because this does a pretty big crowd control of damage. And the nice part about it is it has that huge area of effect at the end. Now this build is pretty hungry on the amount of endurance that you're going to need, because swinging around two spears at once, as you can see, takes a huge chunk of the bar. So We can take off one of these talisman that you don't find you're using if you throw less, if you jump less, or if you just want to lower your if you want to have a bit more survivability, you can take this one off here. But I'll just show you, for example, what we can go with instead, because there are some other options. Like the two-headed turtle talisman will give us increased damage, or increased endurance recovery rate. So that can be pretty useful too, because as you can see, it goes down really quickly with this weapon. So that's the only unfortunate piece to it, is heavier weapons typically have a bit more of a drain. But you can also run and sprint and hold the R1 attack too. So you can get a bit of a charge attack out of this, which is a lot of fun. I really like the power stance on the two spears. So yeah, this is a really enjoyable build overall. It has great damage and a lot of range. So you can throw it, you can do Mesmer's Assault. You got lots of different options. So that is an OP build for Mesmer's Spear the Impaler in Elden Ring. If you found this video useful, please hit that subscribe button below, and I'll see you all in the next video.